I hope you can hear, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let me share my screen. Just a minute. Okay. I hope the screen is shared, right? Okay. Good evening, all. As I said, as Ilya said, I'm Jaseemul Farhan. I'm a research scholar in Jamia Millia. So through this session, what we mean that give a basic introduction to how to write a research proposal. I hope that most of you are PhD aspirants, and some MA students may also be there, right? An introductory. Yeah. So, before we go into how to write the research proposal, I would like to talk some points on how to choose the topic, because that's also a very important topic. That's a In a way, it's a big topic that we have to do a separate workshop for that. Because I most probably you people may went through a difficult stage that on what we do research. Actually, in my early stage also, the biggest question was, how, on what topic I should do my research. So the answer is within you. Like, you should ask yourself, like, what fascinating me, because PhD is a such a long procedure. It's take at least 4 or 5 years. So when we choose a topic, we should always, should think about what is our passion, or what we want to do in our future. So once you do a PhD in a topic in academics, you will be named. I mean, your career will be built on that topic. Yeah, of course, you can change the topic and you can change the domain and all, but still, your PhD will always be remembered and always be questioned, and you'll be recognized with the PhD. So the simple process which I take was that you all know that UGC have a syllabus. So in UGC syllabus, for example, I have done my post graduation in political science. In political science, net exam second paper, there is 10 units. So I take that syllabus, and I looked at, yeah, in this 10 units, what is my area on, in which there is a lot of areas, like, IR is there, political sociology is there, and foreign policy is there, and many public administration, and many units are there. So in that unit, what makes me happy, what is creating questions inside, like, that's so ask that question yourself. Then you will find an area, not a topic. You will find, yeah, in my case, I was not that a person who like IR very much, though I have get good marks, because that's quite easy to write. But that was not my favorite area. My favorite area was political sociology and comparative politics. So I got an area. So in that area, you should begin to read. That's my second point. We may think that we will get a topic, we will get a research topic, by mere sitting in a, proper, calm, cool place, and think, what we want to do. So, we will not get that. No, by sitting in a chair and thinking, uh, we will not get a topic. The topic you get, the more you read, the more concept clarity you will get. So the more you read, you will a lot of questions coming to your mind. That is the route. I mean, that is the way through which we can reach to a topic. So I suggest you to read more. I mean, find an area and read some basic literature. For example, if you find IR is very interesting, so read the latest literature, latest research papers, and in short, Ganga, you can get the latest PhD dissertations. So I'm not saying to read all the dissertations. Just read the abstract of the new dissertation, new works, what is happening in that area. So you will get a lot of questions. So from that questions, you get the uh, research topic. So I'm stopping the discussion on the topic here. So we can move forward now to the coming to the main part of our discussion today, how to write a research proposal. So my first point is that there is no hard and fast rule here on writing a research proposal. There is no very clear cut structure is not here. Not in India, not in anywhere in the world, I would say, because in UK or in Europe, the system is different. And when it goes to you go for a PhD in US, you just want to give a 500 word or 1,000 word SOP, statement of purpose, in which you want to write just what you want to do, what is your interest, what is the scope of your topic. So, but when it comes to Europe, it is entirely different. They need a structural, the institute will tell you a structure, and you want to write in that way. So, in Indian scenario also, the all institutions not have a uniform structure. Okay, I mean within a university, the department to department it varies. I'm a student of Jamia Millia. In Jamia Millia also department to department it varies. So there is no hard and fast rule. It's up to the institute. And when I know that you are all aspirants, your need is to give a proposal for the interview. So when you go for an interview, there is when you write a research proposal, there is some essential part. I will use the word compulsory. I mean, the essential part is there. So these are the essential part. There should be a proper title. There should be a proper introduction, which should include the the theoretical framework and the question. I mean, the main theme of the problem and the review of literature, research objectives, research questions, research methodology, and references. These are the compulsory. I mean, this is the essential part in your research proposal. This should be there. Okay. So, and along with this, some other parts also can be added. Um, that is hypothesis. Actually, when I write the hypothesis, it's very difficult to say that whether that's essential or optional. Because why I wrote put it in optional, that when it comes to social science research, in a way it is very much optional. Like, because in social science we do qualitative research more. Yeah, of course I know that in economics and all we do more quantitative. But in general, when we do qualitative research, there is some limitation to put hypothesis. Okay, but of course, when it comes to the pure science and all, there should be hypothesis. But in some research, it's up to the nature of the study. I wrote two type of proposals, for two institutions, and one of my study, I wrote hypothesis, but and another one I didn't. But one of my teacher said that there is no need of this type of hypothesis in this, because that's not how it works. So in social sciences, hypothesis is a very problematic whether it's needed or not. And scope of the study, we can add that, but that's very optional. And tentative chapters. Chapterization is very much optional, because at this the early stage of research. I mean, when you go for a PhD interview, you are not expected to give tentative chapterization. But if you have a clear idea, you can add, because it gives some value added, that you have a better idea or a good idea about your research. So this is optional. So let's discuss all of these things in detail. The first is title of the study. The picture. I mean, the first picture of your study. So if a person, you give your proposal to any teacher on any interview panel, they will judge you based on the title. First, first impression should be good, right? So the title should be attractive, catchy, and clear. Should be clear and concise. We should not write a big para, like 3 4 line title. You should it should be clear idea and concise, and it should reflect the main focus of the your research. Okay. So there is a to do this, there is an ideal practice. So when though I am saying it is an ideal practice, it is not how all the research titles are. But for a tricky, we can use this. when we have a research, when we are writing a title, we can use the research proposal will have a two parts. The first part we can use theoretical phrase or theoretical idea, the concepts on the when we are in political science or in sociology, you can use the theoretical base in the first part. For example, I put here is a title of one of it's a study by one of my friend. So see here, citizenship and contestation. It is the theoretical base or theoretical framework of this study. Then colon, and second part we can add the method or location, time, etc. For example, in this study, um, she used that everyday lives in Kosampur Pahari slum, Delhi. So here she give in a way what she study everyday lives, and location is also given. So in some studies it will be give like time period, yeah, from 1950 to 2000 or 2020. So or we can say a comparative study of this and this. Okay, so in second part we can add this. So in a way it will be we feel very structural. So it's an ideal practice, but it is not compulsory that we should do the same. So that's why I second put the second example in different way. See here, the Muslim barbers of Malabar: histories of contempt and ethics of possibility. It is actually a PhD by Sofwan Amir from Madras Institute of Development Studies. So this PhD is already submitted. So in this study, this whatever I said, it's not work, because in first part he used the people, and in second part he used the methods and all. So there is, as I said earlier, also there is no hard and fast rule, but still, this is an ideal practice. Hope you understood, right? So the second is introduction. When we give a proposal, usually the research panel, first of all, I feel that this research panel not study our proposal properly, because, we will do a lot of effort, we attend workshops and we do, a lot of effort, but in interview stage and all, they will not read the whole proposal. So they will look the first, the title, and in the introduction part, and the reference part, and research questions or research objective. Okay, so introduction part is very important, because that should be, that should be very precise actually. That should not be, you should not write an introduction, or if you want to write more, give a introduction, then give a thematic or statement of problem or that kind of idea. But I suggest, if you can write things very concisely, like in a simple, use simple language also. Yeah, of course, academic language, not the common man language, but uh, use academic language, but use it simply. And when a person is reading, he should have a motivation to read more. Something interesting should be there. Something catchy should be there. Okay, so that's what I so, and another thing, that you should have a clear clarity in your thought. If you don't have clarity in your thought, you can't, write. That's what I said. Read more. When you read more, even you don't know understand much. Eventually, your thought you will have a better clarity. That clarity is very necessary when it comes to PhD interview, and when it comes to doing your PhD. Otherwise, you can't make better argument. Okay, so in introduction, you can clearly state the background, context, and significance of the study. Significance of the study, as I said, it's an in scope of the study. We can give a separate heading, but in introduction itself, you can give in the last part of the introduction. You can write the significance of the study in 2-3 lines, not much. Okay, and precise but powerful. Your argument should be very attractive. Whatever you topic you putting, basically, PhD is a program. We are all doing. When you study for net exam, you must know that there is two type of research: action research and basic research. So PhD is a form of basic research. Why we do PhD? PhD, we are not solving any problem in society. We are contributing something new to the existing knowledge. So we are, what we doing is a knowledge production. So the panel should feel that, yeah, this study is contributing something new to the field. So don't try to copy or something. You should come with exciting ideas. Okay. You read, you will get a lot of exciting ideas, because when you read, you will get a lot of questions. When you try to answer that questions, you will get, uh, you know, uh, topics. And don't start with baseless argument. Like we all have biasness, and we all have some favoritism, and we all have some we have some hate for something and all. But don't bring that to your argument. Okay, so don't put you any baseless argument. And you should in introduction also you can index citation. In other part also you should give index citation, because when you cite things, that argument getting an authority. So if you cite good, like Amartya Sen, or good academicians, your argument is getting a authority. Otherwise you just saying something that's just an argument. But when you cite someone, and when you bring the argument by some good scholars, good academicians, it will get much attention. But it should be true also. Don't lie to the panel, because they are they have a lot of experience, and they done a lot of PhD interviews already. So don't lie to them. They will caught, and it will be like very awkward. Okay. So hope you get this. Yeah, we get what is in chat. Yeah, okay, fine. I thought, is there any questions or something? Mm, Next is literature review. So from the very beginning, I am saying you should read. So when you read, uh, I mean, for reaching a PhD, reaching a topic, and writing a proposal, reading is very essential. So you read and write about this. Like if you choose a topic, for example, if you working on the politics of recognition, or politics of redistribution. So when you read, you thought that, yeah, I want to do research on this. Uh, so you should read what is already, what works is already done on this field, done in this field. For example, as I said, or if you're working on the identity, or the conflict, or multiculturalism, you have to read the work of Charles Taylor, and Nancy Fraser and all. That's very big academics work. And if you just check whether either there is any research papers or anything is there. Okay. So the idea is that you should read and review that literature, to why it's conducted thorough literature review to show your awareness of existing research on the topic. It's very essential. I still remember that in my PhD in interview, they asked, the second or third question was like, yeah, I give introduction, I just give title, and I was trying to give the idea. Then one of the professor, yeah, Jesse, what literature you read uh, in this area? So we have to elaborate. Yeah, I read this literature, and this literature is saying this. So and when you do literature review, you should discuss the key theories, findings, and gaps in the literature that your study aims to address. Okay, so in methodology, actually, there is a term, theoretical framework. I'm already used that, but honestly, when I uh, uh, excuse me, you have any voice problem? Just a minute. Actually, Azan is happening, and that's too near. Okay, you will have also disturbance, so we can continue after that in 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So I was saying that the literature, the importance of literature review in the study. Okay. Um, just a minute. I have a technical issue. Yeah. Uh, so you read more literature, but the point is that when we write proposal, we don't want to write that in 20-24 pages. We want to be very concise. I mean, very limited. So uh, though you read more literature, I suggest you as you can read as much as you possible, but you don't want to write all of them. In the research proposal you just select, I mean, pick which is more close to your idea of research. Okay. So that's what all about we have. We can this research review of literature. And next is research objectives. Actually, research objective is all about it's the whole idea of research should be come under research objective. It is a list of specific objectives of your research. It should be well structured and focused. Why I'm saying well structured, when we say, I'm studying about the Adivasis, we can study about many things, Adivasis, their social background, political aspects, and many things. But when we coming to the research objective, we should be well focused. I will study this part of Adivasi life. I will study. I will examine the X is happening with Y. I mean, I'm saying an example. You should be very well focused and well structured with the research objectives. As I said earlier, when your whole proposal will be evaluated based on the research objective. I will not say research questions also, not that important when it comes to compare with research objectives, because many of the scholars, I mean teachers say that you can't finalize the research questions until you have a clear idea of research objectives. Okay. So these are one of my friend who is from JNU. It is a research question, sorry, research objective from his proposal. I mean, the another thing is the research objective will be right in a way that to highlight, understand, it should be right in that way, right, to analyze or to observe. That's how we should frame the research objectives. For example, here, uh, one of his research objectives to highlight the reason behind the exclusion of Dalit women in Panchayati Raj system, to understand the socio-political dynamics of Dalit women in Panchayati Raj institution. Actually, he is doing research on in the I forget the district name. It's in Madhya Pradesh. So in this objective, it's very clear and well structured. Okay. So, and we don't want to be more research objective because we are doing a educational program. Basically, PhD is an educational program. So we can stop 4 or 5 is ideal. But some people may have 6 objectives, 7 objectives also there, but that's not normal. That's I mean rarely happens that. But in an ideal way, we can 4 to 5 objective is more than enough. Okay. So the next is research questions. Research questions is it should be correlate with the research objective. What should be your research objective? How you if we should check that if your research objectives will be fulfilled, or I mean when you complete the research, um, will you able to satisfy, I mean you will you able to satisfy the question that whether or you all those four research objectives are fulfilled. That's an important question that should for that, what kind of questions we should answer. Okay, so it should be very much related. It should be very correlated. So research objective should be something else, and research question should be something else. That's not how it works. Okay, so it should be you know very much correlated to each other. So the clearly state your research question and make sure it's specific. In research objective also, research questions also, I am using this word specific. The whole research should be, we should do research in a very specific way. Like we cannot, research is a very, we are not doing in a broad. I mean, we are cutting down, and we are narrowing down the question theme and all. Then we finally try to answer a specific question. So the research questions should be very specific, focused, and aligned with the overall goal of your study. It should be based on the research objectives, and there should be correlation, as I said. And this is also, it should be 4 to 5 is an idea. Okay, in I think in my knowledge, in some pure science and all, you should write the research chapters according to the number of research questions or research objective. If you have 4 research objective, you should write 4 chapters, and once you completed that four paper, your research would be over. Okay, but in social science, it's not how work, but it should be 4 and 5 is the ideal number. Okay, but I myself know that many people have research questions, more research questions, 6 research questions, and all. Okay, so this is all about we have on research questions and methodologies. This is a very important part, because uh, when you say, in front of a research, I mean, interview panel, you said, yeah, I have this much idea, I'll do that and do this. The next question is that how you do. Okay, we may have very big ideas, but in practical level, if it's not possible, methodologically it's not possible. I mean, in reality also it's not possible. According to our socio-political systems, it will be rejected. So methodology is very important. I hope that in your master's level you must have studied research methodology, and you must have some basic idea of research methodology, how it should be done, and what should we do when we formulate the research. But the interview panel is also not expecting that you should be a expert in research methodology. If in this part, if you have some problem, they will correct you. Okay, but don't say blunders. That's important. Don't say blunders, but if you have some mistake and some problem and some challenges, they will correct you. And I will suggest you, if you before you writing, and if you before you finalizing the research proposal, you should meet some people who are already done research in that area, or some people, who have some idea of research methodology. They will correct you if you are doing some going in a wrong direction. So but you must know some basic, what is at least what is different between qualitative and quantitative methods, and how that work, and basic sampling and all. Okay, if it needed. In historical research, there is no question of sampling, but you should have some basic idea about this. So, describe your research design, include the type of study. What type of study you are studying? Is it a experimental, observational survey? When it comes to social science, we can question like, is that a ethnographic study, or is that a comparative study? That kind of a that idea should be included in the methodology. And data collection method, and tools. What tool will you use in the data collection, and where will you do your data collection? That's also very important. So if you do, you are saying, I will take this much samples, but the question is that from where you get that sample, which region, which part, and what type of sampling. Is that a simple random sampling, or snowball sampling? And that all things should be clear in the methodological part. And discuss your sampling strategy and justify your chosen method. Yeah, that's a very important thing. When you choose some methodology, you should justify that. Okay, and the theoretical part. framework, actually, um, when you're preparing for JNU or any other premier institute, uh, I get these questions there. I mean, theoretical framework in Jamia also, theoretical framework will ask. I don't know how many of you know what is theoretical framework. Honestly, at that point of time, I don't have much idea that what is theoretical framework. Theoretical framework basically means, I know that you must be a good student. So, but for the understanding, I'm saying that theoretical framework means what concept, on what concept you build your study. I can, for example, I'm basically working on fisher communities of Kerala. I mean, especially Muslims. So my theoretical framework, I'm using the triple R idea. Triple R means recognition, representation, and redistribution. It is developed by Charles Taylor, Nancy Fraser, and all. So this is the theoretical framework. That's very important. You should have a theoretical framework. All studies will have a theoretical framework. What literature or on what idea you're working on. So you should also have a theoretical framework. In many good institutions, this will be questioned. Okay. For that also you need to read. When you read as much as literatures possible, you will get theoretical framework. That's why I was saying that by sitting in a chair and by thinking, we will not the idea will not, the research topic will not be evolved. It will evolve by reading. Okay, I think I'm again and again why I'm saying that I done this mistake. Once I completed, I mean, in the last semester of my masters and all, I was in a worry that how I form my topic and all. And whenever I ask to the senior scholars and my teachers, they say, yeah, read more. So I was thinking, yeah, by reading, why I want to read that much? I want come up with new ideas and all, and how new ideas will be there in the existing text. So eventually in the process, I realized, yeah, I was doing wrong by sitting and thinking. The idea will not come by it will come only by reading. That's why I am again and again this saying, because I none of you I really don't want to you people do such mistakes. And the another important part is reference. I think you must have some idea about the references. So the in literature, as you said, for getting all this idea, you need to read a lot of literatures. You should give those literature in the references part. Ideally, in social science, we use APA model. I hope that you must have some idea. If you don't have, you can I can give that, in question, you can ask, and I will give some idea about what is reference and how should you write that. And another thing that whenever you cite or write a reference, you should have a basic idea on that literature. You're saying that, I read the Zoya Hassan's this work in reference part. You should have a basic idea that what Zoya Hassan is saying. That I'm not saying that you should read the whole book, but you should have a basic idea, because I see that in when we go to the in front of interview panel, some professors they not even look your research title or title itself. They just directly go to the last page. I myself witnessed this. They directly go to the last page and just look, yeah, how much this guy studied, and they ask question from them, yeah, what you read from this part. So you should have a basic idea of what you are referred, I mean, in that uh, research proposal. And here also I am saying, don't lie, don't try to lie, because the those who are sitting in front of you, they themselves done PhD. They themselves know that what students used to do, and they all read those almost, when it comes to indigenous, I mean, regional languages literatures. For example, I'm from Kerala, and I referred some Malayalam literatures. So of course they don't have much idea about that, but there should be very famous work and all. They all know that what is written inside this, so they will question you. So don't try to lie. If you don't know answer, I honestly say, try to defend, but uh, if you don't know much, you can say, sir, I don't know. I know this much. I am not referred. I will refer it. But I honestly suggest this is in JNU and Jamia and all. It's fine because the teachers will take that in sense. I don't know what about the state universities, but you should have a basic idea when you refer some work in your references. And now we're going to, in the very beginning, I said, some essential part is there, some optional part is there. So, hypothesis, in my understanding, it's an optional part when it comes to social science research. Because in earlier also I said in social sciences, sometimes forming hypothesis is a very difficult process. So, I'm just saying, defining what is hypothesis. Hypothesis is a proposed explanation or educated guess that can be tested through experimentation and observation. Okay. I have in my laptop, I have a number of proposals. Many people give us for suggestions and feedback. And during my preparation, I collected some proposals for understanding how to write research proposal. So from that, I get only this, a few more this hypothesis are there in social science, normally not used, but this is a hypothesis which use in CPOD, I think so, CPOD or inner studies or something. Uh, in that proposal, it's a proposal that he then doing research in Tibet and ecology related work. So it's an example. It is like economic development and social transformation is causing major environmental imbalances, leading to altered water regimes in Tibet. So he is speculating that this should be there. That's why this problem is happening, and through his research, he will try to prove that. According to the nature of your research, you can either formulate a hypothesis or you can leave it also. So this is what all about hypothesis. Another is scope of the study. Though if you don't not add the scope of the study in your research proposal, in your interview process, in your interview, you just try to highlight that scope. Yeah. I think I didn't mention about the research gap. So I actually missed that. Why we want to do literature review, because first of all, you should have awareness about what is going on, and secondly, to understand the research gap. When you study the existing studies, uh, you will find that this problem is addressed, but there is a gap in between that. This problem is not addressed. To understand that, we have to do literature review. Okay. So when you highlight the scope of the study, you can say this. Okay, this is the importance of this study. For example, I'm saying myself in my study, I said that there is much studies not happened on Muslim fisher communities. Though there are studies on the other communities who are also fisher communities. For example, Hindu fisher communities and Christian fisher communities, and their problems are I try to understand. But we are not aware about what is the problems with Muslim fisher communities, their marginalization, and all. So that's very important to understand, so that if there is so that we can understand the society in a better way and we can formulate better policies for them. So that's how we find research scope, and we can bring that to the importance of the scope of the problem also. Uh, and you can add the expected outcome also, and how it would be good for our knowledge system. Uh, then it is also a optional part, tentative chapters. Tentative chapters means in your whole research, what how should be the chapterization. The first chapter should be like introduction, second chapter should be like this on this topic. I'm putting my own my own research. In my own research, my first chapter is introduction, and second chapter is all, about the stratification among Muslims, and the third is on the question of the position of fisher communities. So, but in the when we are going for a PhD interview, the chapterization is not that important. That's why I consider it's an optional thing. But if you have a very much idea about your research and you are very much sure about this, you can go for the tentative chapterizations also. So this is all about the how we write research proposal. These are the main content, and the point is that as I mentioned here, just start. Just it will eventually develop. You know, this is a quote actually, by someone I don't know, but I got this from Twitter. We often avoid taking action because we think that I need to learn more, but the best way of learning is doing the action. Okay, so you consider yourself that just start, try to write and try to articulate whatever ideas are coming in your mind. Try to write and try to read more papers and add when you write the first proposal, just believe me, it will not be the final form. I began to write my first proposal uh, 1 year or something before. Then eventually it cut down and come many things came, and the whole shape of my proposal changed by the time my proposals get passed in the university. So just start. That is the best way of learning. Just start and talk to your seniors or who are doing research and show them that this is what I wrote and what's the mistake, and can you make corrections and all. So eventually they will suggest you some more reading. Yeah, come with this, read this also and reshape this part also, then eventually it will improve. So just start, it will develop. That's what my suggestion is. And thank you. This is all about what I want to say on this topic, and I given my contact number and mail. Please try, if you can, don't call me because I'm engaging with many things already. But if you WhatsApp me, surely, even if it late by 1 day or something, but I will reply. Okay, we can, I can give the feedback and I can give suggestions. And if you have any queries or questions, you can contact me. And thank you. And now, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat, and or you can open your mic and ask. Uh, we can discuss and try to find the solutions. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Farhan. Yeah. So somebody's asking for a slide. Yeah, we'll share the PPT. Yeah. If you have any queries or questions, doubts which has to be cleared now, you can text in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask the question. So floor is open now.
Hello, hi. I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a hazy picture of but it's clear also, but uh, I mean I don't understand where do I start from. I have a clarity in my mind, but every time I start writing, I just feel I keep on reading about it because I'm reading this also, I'm reading that also. So every time I start with reading, and then I'm not able to put it down on papers. So would you suggest me like how do I go about it? Because I'm getting very confused when I'm starting to write.
See, uh, thinking is a very easy process, basically, right? Writing is quite difficult because when we began to write, the correct word and all not came. So, if you have an idea, I mean, there is your question have a two side. I don't know what you mean by
Yeah, so
the
I have hazy
confusion.
ideas. I have some a title in my mind, but what happens is that when I'm reading more and more about it, I just feel कि अच्छा ये भी तो है, this is also there, that is also there. I can maybe put this also, I can put that also. So, so
Okay,
then
okay.
then the clarity it is kind of going away the more
Okay,
I
okay.
read.
I got your question. Okay, okay. the first thing, not only for you, for everyone, in used to say that it's a PhD. We are not writing any Bible or Quran or something. Okay, so don't wait for perfection. Just write. Just begin to write. And if there is anything we can add later, we can do it. Okay, the same problem I have also when I writing the PhD chapters and all, or research papers also. I thought, yeah, some more ideas. But when we wait for the some more ideas or the perfection, we will not reach anywhere. Okay, so I suggest you, Manisha, that just give a tentative title which you have a brief idea, right? So write that title, and just write a single para. I mean, not write down complete 2 pages. Whatever you have in your mind, just write it. Okay, then read again and make it para. Based on the ideas, make it different paras. Then from that, try to form research questions. Okay, separately. You maybe in that para itself, you may add that questions, but cut down that and bring to that separate questions. Okay, so when you done 4 or 5 pages, I suggest you you can talk to any of your seniors, and just check that, yeah, is it correct, you're going in a correct way. So I think then you will get a better direction. But at least you have to come with a 4 page. What is in your mind? No senior or no scholar can help you with the idea which you carrying in your mind. We need something in paper. Okay. So I suggest you to write. Even it is blender, come with those ideas which in paper. Okay. Then we can improve it. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Manisha, and thank you, Farhan. So there are other questions as well, but before that, I would like to respond to Manisha as well. So don't be too much confused, because all the time you will make proposal based on your faculty or the potential supervisor in different university who can support you in guiding or choosing you. So based on their research interest and based on your research interest only, this proposal will evolve around. So it is good to read, but your reading will be on same thing. Like if you're reading on a social movement, if you are reading about a protest, if you are reading about you're measuring some, you're quantifying something like per se the income of particular community or society. So the reading will be always around a particular theme, like either it is on caste, class, gender, religion, or in any of those aspects. So you be precious about your research area, then title is fine. You can, based on your interest and your supervisor interest, it will be keep on changing. It is always good to have people who can suggest, like Jasim, or whoever is mentoring you, who is supporting you. You can ask the opinion what can be done. And in part of writing, you can use sticky notes. You can write down. You can keep a separate note for what all goes around in your mind. You can always wrap up things. You can remove the obstacles and keep the necessary things. Yeah. So there is a question from Kinyoli that for to Farhan you, that is uh, what types of the research gaps in the research can be there, especially, and that is one question. And the next
It's in
question
chat.
is, sorry.
Is that in chat? Can I read?
Yeah, it's in chat. It's in WhatsApp chat. Yeah.
Tips and tricks. What is the first question? I don't know. How do
It is
you
about
find?
the research gap. It is the research gap.
Just is that in? Can you
What
have
types
a?
of research gaps are there? Is there anything specially? Could you elaborate? That is
No, no.
one.
See, I don't understand the question. Firstly, is that
Oh,
how
the
do
question
I
is about
find?
research gap.
Yeah, but I don't know how you take the research gap. The idea. A research gap means I cannot tell what is the research gap in your area when you read. Hello, hello.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, okay. So when you read the literature on your area, you will find the research gap. Okay, that's what I said. I read literature. I'm again putting my example. I read literature on Muslims of Kerala, but eventually I found that yeah, there is a lot of research on Muslims of Kerala, but in those research are not never address this community and their problems, and even state is also not addressed. You will get research gap only by reading. Okay, directly I cannot answer that what is the research gap. Okay, you got, I think I answered your question, right? Or you mean or something else, you can ask
Yeah,
again.
yeah. So there is another question that is about where to get the resources or websites. Where can I refer books and journals?
Yeah, okay. Note down libgen. Actually, these are not, we can say not legal and all, but we all know that we are using that. Libgen, then yeah, the biggest resource I started with the Shodhganga. I think you know Shodhganga, right? Shodhganga is a website of Government of India. In that, the research dissertation, PhD dissertation will be available. The existing research dissertation. So that's also a big way that how you reach topic. You just go to that website and just read how what is the title of research, PhD dissertation. So eventually some idea come to you. Okay, for example, Panchayati Raj on Punjab, yeah, some issues, and you can say, ah, this is kind of issues happening in our place also. So you can think in that direction, but I will never suggest you to do that kind of copying, because that study will not have that much relevance. So don't copy that. But for the understanding, you can use Shodhganga. Okay, for the books, you can use Libgen, and there is an archive there. Then JSTOR is there, and many is there. Okay, these are the main thing which I use: Libgen, Anarchive, and Shodhganga and JSTOR. These are the four things which I use.
Yeah, I just want to give a disclaimer that these are all for academic purpose. For academic purpose, you are using this, so we should not practice any sort of unethical things. So most probably, you can use, your university or institution has several subscriptions per se. You might have access to EPW or most of the journals like Springer Nature, so these kind of journals also will be having a number of
Yeah,
articles.
Ilya, I want to
Say
add that,
you
see,
have a Routledge also have a publication, you get books and all. So whenever it is needed, you can use it per se. Try the maximum to use legally or ethically which is available. If not, then it is fine, you are using it for academic purpose. And always, as Farhan has already said, give the references from where you're getting. Nowadays you can quote from which website you've taken the content as well. Yeah, yeah, Farhan, you
Uh,
can go.
Ilya, thank you. Actually, I completely forgot to say this. I mean, we all using the ethical purpose. I mean, no, we don't have any other intentions. And EPW is a good source. You can find the vibrancy of academics in EPW, but I don't know how many people have access to that. But if you're a master student, or if you have institutional access, please read EPW latest versions, and journals. Lot of journals are there. UGC care journals are there. They have basic qualities, and journal and research papers are the main thing. But why I was saying Libgen and all, when we go to these journal and research papers, uh, we will not have access, and they ask money. But then Libgen is, we can freely download the same resources. That's why I was saying this. Okay, uh, that's all about. Then is there any question? My question is tips and tricks for writing conference funding proposals. Um, Tips and, yeah, conference funding proposals. It's in different way. I think research proposal. In a way, it's similar. Like uh, I hope that conference funding proposals is that you mean abstract for conference or seminars?
No, no.
Ramamurthy?
In this session, we are dealing with academic PhD admission. I think we can.
Yeah. Okay. If if you mean the abstract the research papers writing, that's an entirely different area and different practice. But there are still, in foreign and all, you can there you funding, conference is there for independent research. That's also different way. All these things are not applicable there. That's a very different, not very different, but some similarities there. But that's a very different one. We can discuss that later, right, Leah? Or
Yeah, yeah, Farhan. Yeah.
yeah, okay. We can do that. We can do a talk on that later. Research